the drogue chutes do help to slow the vehicle down to about 350 miles per hour, whereas the main chutes will deploy, after the main chutes deploy, it will slow the vehicle down even more, and by the time that the vehicle splashes down, should be around 16 miles per hour. Those drogue chutes, and you can hear the crowd here very excited to see them deploy.
Drogue chute descent rate nominal and visual on 2 healthy drogues.
Freedom copies.
Very cool view of Dragon with the 2 drogue chutes. We are just anticipating the main chutes to deploy here shortly.
Main chute, descent rate nominal, visual on 4 healthy mains.
And great news, as you can see there, the main chutes have deployed, slowing the Dragon vehicle down significantly, down to approximately 119 miles per hour.
Freedom is 1,000 meters.
Copy 1,000.
Now, Dragon has saved all propulsion systems and is now terminating the nitrox suit and cabin purges, and is beginning to increase.
At 800 meters.
Copy 800.
Dragon is beginning to increase pressure in preparation for landing. And the mission control team here in Hawthorne is reporting the precise landing coordinates to the recovery team.
So we did get that confirmation on the main chutes.
600.
The crew is now 600 meters away from splashing down. We do expect splashdown in about 2 minutes from now.
Landing in water is simpler, therefore more reliable, and it provides more margin against unlikely parachute.
400 meters.
Copy 4.
Provides more margin against unlikely parachute issues. We had to learn how to make Dragon waterproof, but once you do, it is a rinse, review, and reuse type of process. And we are just about a minute away from splashdown of the Dragon vehicle back onto planet Earth, and hearing good callouts of the altitude of Dragon.
Freedom's at 200 meters. We're bracing for splashdown.
Copy, brace for splashdown.
And again, that descent rate is as expected here. Pretty soon we should be able to see the view of the ocean come into view as Crew Dragon Freedom with 4 astronauts on board prepares to splash down after spending 170 days in space after launching on April 27th.
Incredible view as the crowd goes wild for Crew 4.
Copy, Freedom, space up to splashdown and mains cut.
Welcome home. Welcome home, Crew 4. Great view watching Dragon splash down back on planet Earth. Now, Now, as you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation for splashdown of the Dragon spacecraft. Dragon Freedom has returned home, and NASA astronauts Chell, Bob, Jessica, and
SpaceX Freedom, we are water uprighting and stable 1.
Copy Freedom. We see stable 1. You are go for 4.800. And on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home. Thanks for flying SpaceX.
And SpaceX from Freedom, thank you for an incredible ride up to orbit and an incredible ride home. Glad to be back.
As you can see, Dragon Freedom has returned home, and NASA astronauts Chell, Bob, and Jessica and ESA astronaut Samantha are back on Earth after an approximately 5-hour return journey from space. The SpaceX recovery ship and team has been waiting for Dragon splashdown, and they will now make their way to the splashdown location.
And we did hear the call out that the vehicle is in stable 1. That's the configuration that we were hoping for. Stable 1 means it's in the ocean upright as expected, and you can see that exactly on your screen here. So the teams have been ready and waiting about 3 nautical miles away. So it's going to take them about 30 minutes or so to make their way to Chell, Bob, Jessica, and Samantha inside. But about a minute and 30 seconds after the landing, Mission Control Hawthorne will give the go for final approach and the safe approach. And then about 2 minutes after landing, the approach boat will begin those inspections that we discussed earlier. That's just to ensure that everything is as expected with the vehicle.
X-Dragon, complete with waiting for...
SpaceX copies Dragon 4 awareness. Comm is a little bit choppy, but we copy that you are complete with 4.800 and awaiting recovery personnel. I will provide an update on recovery forces in a couple minutes. How copy?
Standing by.
And Mission Control here in Hawthorne did give the go for that approach and recovery. And so here shortly, we should be able to get some views of the fast boats as they approach the Dragon Freedom with the crew still on board.
Freedom, SpaceX is go for recovery personnel to approach. Expect personnel alongside within the next couple minutes.
Okay, copy. Good to see you in some friendly faces.
And there you are getting a view of those fast boats as they approach the vehicle. They will essentially be doing some safety checks, making sure that all the ordinances and hypergalls are not present or in the area immediately around the vehicle. And they'll also perform an inspection of the capsule itself to make sure that integrity-wise it is looking good. You are seeing that very first fast boat approach the vehicle there. And they really want to do these inspections to make sure that everything is looking good before they do hoist it up into the recovery vessel. So it will take a little bit of time before we do see the crew egress or exit the capsule. We're shooting for less than an hour to bring the Dragon onto the recovery ship and open the hatch to egress. Once these checkouts are complete, you'll see a member of the recovery team actually climb on board the capsule.
Freedom SpaceX for camera configuration.
And go SpaceX.
We are looking for permission to come on board via the display camera view only.
Okay, you're welcome aboard.
And Freedom, we are back on board with the display cam. Recovery personnel are all alongside.
Okay, copy all. Thank you.
And getting some waves from the crew on board Freedom post splashdown. Looks like they're doing pretty well. First time feeling gravity in 170 days.
It looks like they're waving to the world, technically. The crew will remain in their seats all the way until they are brought on board the recovery vessel.
Now, we do expect to hear some words from NASA's Brandy Dean, who is actually on the recovery ship and was able to witness the reentry and splashdown of Crew Dragon Freedom. Brandy, if you're able to hear us, can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to witness 4 humans return to Earth after their mission aboard the International Space Station?
Hey Sandra, it is a gorgeous day for a smackdown. I'm hoping they're a little rougher than they've been in the past, but it's still it's a gorgeous, it's a beautiful day. Watching the capsule down, the parachutes were just throwing the sun behind them. It was gorgeous. And so we are now underway and making our way towards the the team here on the boat was so excited. There were cheers. We heard the double fun room as it answered and got to see it, the drone shoot and then something that its way down. So it's been a really great day so far. We're looking forward to seeing the crew here on board the ship.
That's wonderful to hear, Brandy. Can you tell us a little bit about what the crew is doing and is done to prepare for this moment from your perspective as you've been on the recovery vessel?
You or not, I haven't heard any questions yet, in other words.
We've got you, Brandy. Here, I'll repeat it.
Freedom SpaceX, hypergol sweeps, and unfired ordnance checks nominal. The rigging is in progress. Approximately 5 minutes until capsule lift. Stand by for PMC with SpaceX flight surgeon.
Okay, Freedom copies all. Hypergol checks are passed, and we're about 25 minutes out. We're standing by for the PMC.
So, Brandy, if you're still with us, we did just hear that all of those hypergol checks went as expected, and we can see that the rigging has begun. I'm sure you have a much better view of it yourself on the boat, but can you tell us a little bit more about what the crew on the boat is doing to get ready for the next steps to bring the capsule onto the boat? And it sounds like we may have lost Brandy. They are out at sea, so communications can be a bit spotty. We might be able to join back with her a bit later, but you are seeing right now someone on the capsule. They are doing what is called rigging. You see that they're tossing some different equipment up to them, and that's to ensure that the vehicle is ready.
Freedom, SpaceX, I will be privatizing Dragon to ground now. The next call you hear will be from the SpaceX flight surgeon on the recovery vessel.
Freedom copies.
And so those call outs about a private medical conference, just to ensure that the